Hey, you're back. Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming back. It means you probably want to see how this thing runs Linux live boot. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So just to kind of give you the old rundown on what we're running here, this is the Linux Mint. There we go. That's better. 19.3, 32-bit version. So like I mentioned before, I think in my other videos, but you might be new to the channel, so I'll reiterate. Basically, I run this version of Linux because it's most compatible with my older systems. So the older systems seem to be able to manage this one pretty well. It seems to have drivers and stuff for them as well. So this is the choice I make for the one that I'm using. And then if I'm using a 32-bit system, I don't have to use multiple different sticks. USB sticks is what we run this off of. So here we go. Yep, it runs. So obviously you can see the processor is running pretty reasonably. At first, obviously, there's the boot up and things like that, getting it going. Once it's going, it's, it's fluctuating between, 12, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so not, small percentage of the CPU. Again, remember, we're running a Pentium from the Windows 7 era. And as we found out, it ran okay with Windows 7 with the 4 gigabytes of DDR3. So here we go. We're going to try out, so we can get rid of this. You've seen it. I've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen the version of Linux we're running. All right, so here we go. So this is, again, we're going to use the same video as last time to give it some fairness in its comparison. We'll do the stats for nerds thing. I've already adjusted the sound, thank God. I remembered to do that instead of fooling around with it while we're playing it. Okay, so it's running, there you go, the dimensions and all that stuff. And it should be buffered, so here we go with the start of this one. So if that's me, that's okay. I'm cool with that. However you may manage to get here, welcome to my channel. And we have another video for you. We're dealing with this thrift store laptop that I found. It's about 15 years old, we're saying. And yeah, and I just thought last time we just went through sort of a kind of a bird's eye view of what the actual physicality of the laptop was and some of the few features and how it operates under Windows 7 because that's what it came with, that's what it's running, and that's what I'll keep it running as sort of a okay. Let's switch over to full screen and see of a time period that I quite liked. But that doesn't mean this thing couldn't be useful for something, right? A little beyond just an artifact and playing around with. This could actually be used as an actual, productivity machine, a coding machine, a hacking machine, or a Mint, Linux Mint machine. And this is what we're really going to look at is how does it run live Mint. This is a 32-bit version because I use that one because it's more compatible with some of my oldest systems when I... Okay, so I see that's doing pretty well. We can see there is a few drop frames but again, a lot of times that just has to do with buffering until it gets rolling. So it certainly wouldn't diminish the actual usage of the watching a video, a YouTube video. That's a typical use case for these old laptops is you'd want to be able to do that at least. Ignore this, it keeps on coming up. Battery manager, your battery's charging. I guess this must have an aftermarket battery or something because it doesn't charge under Windows and gives me a complaint. And it doesn't charge under Linux. Well, it doesn't look like it charges. Who knows if it is? It says it's charging. Then it does a question mark, so I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's one of those Dell mysteries, but it doesn't really matter because we're here for just seeing how it runs, right? So what did you think? Do you think that ran okay? I think it did. If I was actually using this on a real situation, I'd be taking that battery out just so I wouldn't have to see that. But I've just discovered that that's what it's showing up, and it just keeps on warning me and warning me. All right, so let's take a look at the processor activities. This is about all the best we can do for getting a read on performance. But it's real world, so that's cool. So we're only using like 7% of the 4 gigabytes of memory, so quite efficient. And the CPU usage has, you know, obviously gets pretty maxed out here when it's running video, but after that it goes back to its normal. So, you know, it did fine. I would say that's a pretty decent Linux experience on live boot on this Inspiron N5030. What did you guys think of that? I think it's pretty good. So there you go. There's again, is that what, 4 out of 5 laptops have run live boot and performed pretty decently? That's pretty good. So, you know, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. You know, I'm not a big Linux user. I have issues with trying to get everything to run on it that I want, and having, you know, it's getting enough hardware support for it and software that I like to use. I always have to find alternatives, and that can be fine. I could definitely, if I got really fed up with Windows, I could go to something like a Linux machine. My problem is there's certain programs that I use in my business that are really essential that only have Windows versions. So that's kind of why I'm going to likely be stuck with Windows until I give up my business. But, you know, after I gave up my business, I could certainly live with something like this, I think. But while running my business, it'll be Windows. Windows, the operating system you wish would get better and would stop screwing you. Linux, the system you wish you could run on your business, but doesn't have all the software support you would like. Caught between a rock and a hard place. And Mac, the most expensive computer you'll ever encounter, and you'll ask yourself, why did I buy that? All right, guys, well, that's it. So I hope you're having a great day. Hey, don't forget, you can subscribe if you like, but I won't beg you to. But if you want to, you can. But if you don't want to, don't. If you liked my video, hey, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, slam that hate button, because I love hate. So there you go, guys. It is what it is. That's my video. Hope you're doing great, and I will see you in the next video.